All right. Things are looking good. Got some coffee, got some water. We are back again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We have 57 more chances at the Araxxor pet. What the hell? For some reason, I don't have my, something on. I don't have my amulet on. Let me go grab that. How long was that not working? That goes into the Araxxor tab. I know why, because I put the ornament kit on it, so it got taken out of my gear tab. Let's drink that, throw that away, take that out, and off we go. I feel like we can definitely finish this task today. Get the pet hopefully within the task. I was having trouble yesterday. For some reason, I kept disconnecting. My internet was being weird. And this morning, power went out for a while. It was raining pretty hard, and power went out for a little bit. It came back, but where I'm at, if it gets, we had some pretty heavy rain, and when the storms happen, then power usually goes down for a couple of hours, but they're pretty good about it, and it comes back on fairly quickly, so it's not a big deal. Drink our anti-venom. Drink our divine ranging pot. Get ready with our spec. And I've stopped using the Dragon Warhammer. Just going for the DPS Vex now. And of course we miss. But that's okay. And it's just your typical Araxxor kill, nothing fancy. And a shoot. And stab with an arrow. Summon another thrall. We can eat and drink a potion here. Lure the red guy around. Big 80 damage on him. Send a javelin over at that guy. And we're gonna get the acid. Yep. And we can hit a 38. Perfect. And show it to me, Araxxor! Not this time. Okay. Missed again with the spec. That's fine. Tebow's just accurate enough to where I don't think I need the Dragon Warhammer, and it's just fun. It's just fun to shoot and hit a 110 right off the bat. I do want to see after this Araxxor task if I can scrounge together enough enough resources, enough money to buy a shadow. I don't know if I'll be able to. I might have to downgrade a few things. But if I can get a shadow, that would be very nice for chambers. Can start maybe doing hard mode chambers. Show me the pet. Nope. We'll drink the Divine again and the Anti-Venom just to keep our stuff topped up. Summon a Thrall. And hit the spec. Nice. And we can lure him around this way. And run away. 2, 3, 4, 5. I could sneak in a hit right in the middle there, but I'm not gonna. Take a little bit of damage just to get maybe one shot off. Probably shouldn't have eaten there, that was bad. See, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Summon a Thrall. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just step back until we get... That was bad. Ran right back into that explosion. There we go. This could be the one. And it's not, but it's worth a shot anyway. Let's throw on some music here. We have... We're gonna get the acid. Yep. Okay, we can lure the guy over this way. And move out of the way. And one or two more big hits and we'll go into enrage phase. Probably one more big hit. Just like that. Yep, perfect. Perfect. No loot and no pet. One more run and then we'll resupply. And we can drink a divine here. Drink our anti-venom. Throw out a spec. And summon a thrall. Araxxor has become kind of a boring boss to me. It's not exciting when you're not getting any loot whatsoever. But I know I gotta keep doing it, because this is the fastest way to get the pet. Even though you don't make any money, and you generally just lose money doing this. There we go. And lootations? Nothing. Oh well. Go back to the bank. Resupply everything. What? Oh, nope. We want this at 4 dose. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take a sip of stamina. And then a whole bunch of dark crabs and head back to Araxxor. Just gotta keep telling myself, you know, any kill could be the one. 168. 168 out of 220. $2,470. Getting close to the double the drop rate for the pet when you're destroying it, but I haven't been destroying it every time for the pet. For the first 1,000 or so, 1,500 or so KC, I was getting loot. Anyway, I will be right back. Alright, I am back. Okay. Let me just, Hello.
One second.
Okay. Ooh. I'm streaming at the moment. Do you mind if I have your voice on here, or is that something you'd prefer not to have? Okay.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I'm just going for the Araxxor pet again.
I feel. Oh, damn.
So how are you?
I'm doing good. Just sitting here chilling.
I managed to do some solo bandos yesterday, but my internet kept giving out. Whenever it rains pretty hard where I'm at, the internet goes funky, and then this morning my power went out until like noon.
Damn, where do you live?
I live out in Inland Empire, California, so like
Hey.
you know where that's at.
No. No, just California though. I mean, fuck.
It's like in the desert between Nevada and LA.
Oh shit. In the middle of nowhere.
Not really. I mean, there's a lot of warehouses out here for like shipping and all that.
They're like, yeah, we got shipping containers out here.
Yeah, the attractions are shipping containers and wildfires.
Hell yeah. Wildfires. My favorite. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Only you can prevent wildfires, but only I can stop you, says the bear with a hatchet.
Nah, bro. Hey.
Hey, Callie.
Callie.
Is it time to get another twisted bow?
Huh?
Huh? Time to get another twisted bow?
Sure. Let me finish this trip of Araxxor, and I can head over to Chambers.
Okay.
Another twisted bow?
Yeah, we got a duo split the other day.
Holy shit. That's big, big money.
Uh-huh.
I only go for the big money. I can only do one. I need to go to a meditation in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Not the meditation.
Actually, no, just keep doing your Araxxor.
Okay. I am streaming at the moment,
Oh, okay.
so...
Can they hear me?
I can make it so they can't if you prefer that.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, yeah.
He's a bumper clot man.
Just in case we get the second one, you know, and I start screaming again.
That would not be very conducive to mindful thinking and meditation.
It's not very demure.
It actually has been on my mind a lot because it's like, I mean, I can tell, like, honestly, between you and me and everybody on the internet, I got home last night and I was like, it was my first day at a job, and I was like, oh, I'm sad. And I was like, I went through a little bit of a depressive episode last night, but I hung out with some friends and stuff, and my partner came over and brought me Taco Bell. It was a really good time to be sad. But
A good time to be sad.
I guess so. I mean, like, it sucks because, like, I mean, I went to the grocery store and tried to get food to feed myself, and I, like, couldn't even feed myself. I had to get to a friend's house to have them make me a, like, oven a pizza.
Oh.
Because I ran out of the energy to do.
Yeah, I have a couple of lazy meals when I'm just feeling bad. My go-to is just baked potatoes. Because you just turn on the oven and put them in there and wait for an hour, and then you have food.
Yep. Rhyme based potato.
This is gonna be some good kush.
Oh, fun.
Hell yeah.
Some of that slurple.
Slurple?
Slurple.
I was gonna smoke some weed, but then I'm like, I'm about to meditate for 2 hours.
Wouldn't that help, or would that not help?
One of the 5 precepts is avoiding intoxicants, so if I am meditating, I would prefer to avoid intoxicants.
More for me.
No, I'm gonna go home. As soon as the meditation's done, I'm gonna think about it, and then I'm gonna go smoke and go to bed.
Gotta go back to work tomorrow, I take it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a job.
Yeah, how was your first day?
It was, I mean, I got home and I was sad. I was like, fuck, I hate work.
Uh-huh.
I hate being a wage slave and I hate capitalism. I'm like so fucking sick of like everybody just being miserable all the time and like this is the system and it only works for like the very few and everybody just is okay with that.
No, it's just the
Or, like-
majority of people don't care because they're successful, and as long as they're successful, then the rest of the world can burn.
It's like I honestly just you know, don't really think that there's anything wrong with killing a CEO. Personally, but you know, I'm personally not gonna go do it. It's not my biz. But if more people did that, I think the world would be a better place. That's wild.
Class consciousness, yo.
Yo! Oh, Lord.
I don't think that's wild. I think that's like, I don't know. Everything's so shitty, and just like that's some kind of action that seems to work for the working class.
Kill the rich. Eat the rich.
But I'm also like, I don't like communism because it's very much like, oh yes, the working class, the workers, and I'm like, okay, but what about the disabled? What about people who cannot work? Because I know people who are like so severely mentally ill that they can't work.
To each according to their ability, from each according, or to each according to their need, from each according to their ability.
Right, and it's like, yeah, I don't think
Communism
Everybody
will never
should
work
force it.
unless everybody's in on it, and if not everybody's in on it, there's always going to be one party that takes over everything. And
No.
I feel like everybody's
no, that's what
kinda
capitalism is, and they've tricked you into thinking that's what communism is. But that's
Well, no. Hold on a second. Hold on, no. Okay,
okay.
communism.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's structured. If not everybody's in on it, similar to capitalism. The difference is one person cannot obtain their own wealth and then, you know, grow from that. I know what I'm talking. Hey, let me rejoin the call because I had something that was kind of deep that I think I joined the wrong thing.
Okay.
All right. Don't know what communism is, bro.
No, the way I see it is capitalism is not moral or immoral. It's not doesn't have good or bad morals. It just does not have morals. The only thing capitalists are interested in is growing capital. So, the only way to have a structured and safe society for everyone is for the working class to impose a moral framework onto capital. For example, universal healthcare. We understand that that's the moral thing to do. So do that.
Yeah.
Can you do Araxxor with Crystal /both? I can only
Can
find
Araxxor
Max.
get universal healthcare after you murder it 5,000 times?
No, Araxxor shall suffer under the boot of the proletariat.
Yeah. Ah, no, no, oh shit.
Someone just asked, can you
Sorry.
do Araxxor with Crystal/Bofa? Probably not. The only reason T-Bow works is because Araxxor is a super high mage level.
Yeah, it's official. This weed that my homie left over here for a month now has officially dried, and it's not
Yep.
that great anymore. It used to be like when it was fresh, it was the best weed I smoked. Then he just left it here, and he hasn't said anything about it, done anything about it. He just left it here. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
You could make firecrackers. It's a good way to use old weed.
Firecrackers? What?
So THC is fat soluble, right?
Right.
And so what I did when I had old weed, I took like you don't want like Skiffy or like the store bought kind of like brand name peanut butter. You want the peanut butter with a lot of oil in it.
That's floating at the top.
Yeah, and you put that on like a cracker, like a graham cracker or something, and then you dry out your weed and grind it up and put it on the peanut butter, and then you bake it for like 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, and that releases the THC, and it's like, it's kind of nasty because you're eating flour, but it's edibles, and it's a good way to use shitty weed.
I mean, the best way you could do that is just decarb the weed, turn it into oil, and then mix it with the peanut butter oil instead of just throwing the weed in there.
Yeah, but it's when I was being lazy. And all I had was a toaster oven, so I'm like, how can I use this?
That's crazy.
Toaster oven. Make food.
Make edibles.
Make edible.
We got mushrooms and everything over here. This motherfucker's left. I don't,
my
I
God,
just don't know.
Feet hurt so bad. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't do this meditation because I've been listening to meditation practices for the past like 8 hours at work. That's the good thing about work is I can throw my headphones on and just like draw my lines and whatever. And be done.
Remember where I got fired from my last job from having earbuds, and that's why I literally told them to go fuck themselves so hard.
Yeah.
Imagine, you're an employee at Walmart, you're stocking things. You got one earbud in. You're listening to a Halo book. I was just listening to an audio book.
Uh-huh.
Fucking
Oh yeah.
old lady comes up, like one of my managers. Take that earbud away. And I looked at her straight in the fucking face. I said, "Fuck no." And so she marched her.
She didn't like that.
No.
She didn't like that.
No, not at
So
all.
she went all the way to the fucking main office and said, "He won't take out his earbud." And they replied with, "Well, if he doesn't take out his earbud, send him home." And so she came back to me and she said, "Higher up said if you don't
You're
take
going
out
home."
that earbud, you're going home." And I fucking laughed so hard. I said, "Fuck yeah, I get to go home?" I was like, "You kidding me?" So I fucking literally put the earbud back in and I walked the fuck right out of there.
You know what? Based.
Hell yeah.
Like, bitch, like. And then the next day they pulled me in the office. They were like, "Why'd you leave?" And I was like, "I was told to." It's like, you guys literally told me, "No, well, the reason why we have that rule implemented is, it's nothing against you, it's just company policy." And I said, "Cool, well, you go tell that to your other 50 fucking employees out there doing the same fucking thing."
Yeah.
Like, don't come to me. I'm the last motherfucker you want to come to.
Yeah.
The worst job I ever had was in a chicken wing place. I worked in restaurants, but I never worked, like, there's front of house, which is, servers and waiters and bussers and all that.
Yeah.
And then there's back of house, which is, like, cooks.
The
Cooks and
yeah,
all that.
the dishwasher, all that.
I
crap.
never worked back of house, but they were so desperate for people. I go and I hand in my resume, and the manager, like, runs out from back, and he's like, "Oh my god, can I do an interview right now?" And that was the first thing I should have thought of as, like, this is a bad sign. Because they were desperate for people.
Yeah, when they're like,
Yeah.
they don't even know who you are, and they're like, oh, we're gonna, like, let's do this right now. It's like, no,
Um,
no, I'm
and
good.
I worked there for a summer, and handling probably like they're like we had the walk-in fridge, and we had probably like 6 to 8 40-pound things of chicken wings in there every day, and
Marinating. Yeah.
not even marinating, just sitting there because we served so much. And I couldn't eat chicken for like a year after that. It was a terribly dirty kitchen. I had no knife skills, and I was a prep cook, so
Oh,
I was like super slow. And then one day I like sliced the end of my thumb off, and they're like, "Ah, it's fine. Just put a band-aid and a glove on and keep working." So I finished that shift.
no.
Oh, yeah, that
That's called
Walmart story I told y'all, that wasn't even the worst story, but go on. I'll tell y'all my worst story when y'all are all done, because mine's fucked.
exploitation.
Well, it was all a bunch of college kids, right?
Yeah,
And
it's still exploitation.
yeah, and none of them knew what they were doing. The kitchen was filthy. I would always stay late to like
Oh.
scrub everything down, but there was so much grease in that kitchen you could never get it
Oh.
clean.
Oh yeah.
No.
So I'm glad after that summer I was like, I never want to work in a restaurant again.
No.
Yeah, I completely understand.
And I feel
Me,
so bad for the people that work in restaurants because
me too.
they're
Like,
always
it's
just
terrible. It's the
shit.
worst. You have to be drunk or fucked up for that to even be remotely not miserable.
Yeah.
So I remember I worked for KFC. I think I was like 19 at the time. This has been about 10 years. And this dumbass manager did not want to replace the fryers,
Uh-huh.
even though they were all broken. So you had to manually drain them, and sometimes they would back up and stop like working completely, and you had to go back there and fix it. Well, I'm new, and I think I may have been working there for like a few weeks, and the fryers stopped working, and I go up to my manager and I'm like, hey, we need to do something about this. And he hands me a fucking wrench and he says, go fix it. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, go fix it. I said, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And he goes, oh, dude, come on over here. So he comes over there and he pulls the fucking thing out. And he says, you see that bolt right there? He said, unscrew that. I fucking unscrewed it. And like million-degree fucking oil sprays all over me.
Fuck.
Now, luckily, I was wearing a hat, and I covered my face. But my shirt and my hat, like, I know y'all know what fast food restaurant shirts are made of. It's made out of that plasticky fucking fabric. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
It melted
Ooh.
all over the place. And they all start pointing and laughing at me and going, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you do that? I threw my fucking hat on the ground and I said, fuck all you bastards. I am not working here. That is fucked up. Like, you guys almost got me killed, hurt badly, and y'all are just sitting here pointing and fucking laughing. Not even trying to help me. Oh, God.
People are really just not aware.
And, like, these were adults. These weren't teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of people out there who are just
Like, how's a fucking 40-year-old man gonna laugh at a younger adult for doing something he told him to do?
You're getting sprayed in the face with hot oil.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like, molten lava oil, like, melted my shirt.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, dumbass. Yeah. Yeah, that's worth $7.25 an hour. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, 725 to burn your fucking body.
Yeah. Like, that is not in the job description. Never is. It's oh.
Yeah, people don't realize how dangerous kitchens are.
No, they're very dangerous. The slipping hazards, the hot grease,
Caustic
hot ovens,
chemicals.
the fucking the dishes stacked high,
Oh,
always falling.
people. I mean, I remember like plates would break, and people would just throw them in the trash can, and that was
Rip the
my
bag
big.
open.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear was because I took out the trash at the end of the day, and I'm like,
A
one
giant
day,
open.
one day, I'm just gonna reach in to take this trash bag out and just slice my hand right open.
Yeah, because those trash bags are thinner than fucking Walmart bags you get at the grocery store. It's ridiculous. You're like, how does this hold all this fucking massive amount of waste that we have?
Mm-hmm.
Kitchens are the worst. I refuse to work in them.
If it's like a nicer place, I wouldn't mind. Like an actual place where the employees are paid well and like there's a competent manager or chef. Because if it's just like a fast food place, no one cares. No one cares about safety, no one cares about health practices, and I feel like awful because I'm serving people this food and I know where it's been.
Yeah, you're like, damn, I know what just happened here, but yeah, fuck it, you know. Drop a piece of chicken on the floor. Oh, well, then you see this employee pick it up, throw it back in the basket.
Yeah, just
You're like,
disinfect
what
it.
the fuck? But you know they wouldn't do that
Mm-hmm.
with their food.
Yeah, I
They got
feel
employees
like
and
someone like a chef owner, where like if something fucks up in the restaurant, they're not only financially responsible, but they're like actually have a relationship with the employees and they care about not only their reputation but the restaurant's
I worked in a
reputation.
family-owned restaurant, and like, I mean, kind of, but also, eh. I feel like the family did care. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just, and I mean, like, I left that place and got rehired there and worked there like a year later after I left, or like 2 years later after I left. Just like how much I liked that place was a lot. But then like one day somebody's pants caught fire because it was like a 50-gallon drum of water, and they were standing next to the like the flame is low or whatever, and they just like their pants caught fire. So
shit.
yeah. So they put themselves out really quick, and you know they were okay and everything, but the family was like, yeah, go to urgent care.
Yeah.
Because there was like an urgent care right across the street, and they were just like, yeah, like go get out of here. Not fucking stay. Like, the fuck.
Yeah, don't point and laugh. Don't whatever you do, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, that pisses me off thinking back to that.
At least
I
you
hope
didn't
they
get-
all got burnt by fucking oil at some point in their lives. I hope that shit sprayed in their face.
I. Uh, mm,
44 more Araxxor KC.
Nuh-uh.
Yaha, and then maybe I get a back-to-back with the Slayer Cape.
maybe you get a back to back with Chambers and Jerry.
But I've been going to do like solo bandos because Araxxor just loses me money at this point.
Pretty garbage, ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the twisted bow, dragon arrows are so expensive, or what?
Dragon arrows are expensive, and I'm destroying it instead of looting it, so double pet chance but no loot.
Oh.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I think it's nice because I've gone super dry for pets, and there's like no way to make it any more likely to get them. So I think it's a nice trade-off.
ever gotten a pet in RuneScape that makes you feel any better.
You will eventually. Just the law of large numbers.
And it will be
Uh,
like the most unexpected time. It'll be like when I do one boss I've never done before, and it'll be like the first KC.
I got my fucking scurriest pet on 9KC.
Wow.
God, my house is rumbling. The wind is so intense. The top floor of my house just shaking.
And then I went 7 times over the drop rate for the fucking like bone splinter or whatever the fuck scurriest drops to make the bone weapons.
Oh yeah.
I literally have like 180 scurriest KC because it didn't drop. So 1 in 33, I killed that thing 180 times. But I did get the pet at 9KC, so like the math. Yeah, except for I wasn't spooned on the other one.
What is
I
it?
was
1
like-
in 3,000 for the pet drop?
Yeah, and then the other one was like 1 in 33. And I could not get my 1 in 33 to drop. I could get the 1 in 3,000 to drop.
Okay, I've gotten 3 vouchers on leagues and everything in Tob except for the fucking rapier. For some weird reason, it just won't drop that.
Is the rapier used for anything?
No, it's just points.
Okay.
Okay, printer, what's going on? Why are you upset?
I'm surprised.
Why is my printer mad?
Juniper isn't in here.
Yeah, where's June?
Mm,
Where's Emily?
mm.
Where's Tracy?
Where's
Where's
work?
Jewel?
Where's anybody?
Where's my mom?
It looks like Juniper is off. Emily keeps her shit on. So I think Carl doesn't look like playing. Juniper has been in the menu for 9 hours. Sleepy.
Okay. I need food.
No, you don't.
Hey.
I have
Tomorrow-
vegetarian pepperoni.
Tomorrow I will have been a week sober, which is kind of a
Nice.
big
From
deal.
alcohol, or
Alcohol, yeah. I'm still chiefing the fucking nicotine
Chiefing?
vapes. No, I can't smoke anymore, but
Oh.
oh,
for you.
nicotine, I can't. It hurts me, like literally. I can't do it. It gives me headaches. It makes me sick. Makes me feel crappy.
yeah. I've switched over to like the non-flavored vapes because they just taste like candy if you're smoking the flavored ones, and that's like way worse because you'll suck it down like 12 hours a day and wake up the next day with chest pain and be like, what's wrong with me?
Smoked a whole 12,000 fucking vape in one day. Oh, why are my lungs hurting?
You know where it all started for me is in high school. I stole my sister's vape and I filled it with half and half, and that was my first high, and I've been chasing that dragon ever since.
Oh, how old are you?
I was like 16 and I put coffee creamer into the vape.
No. How old are you?
Oh, 25 next month.
Okay.
Right.
That's crazy.
You're spry. Spry chicken.
When
Yep.
I was engaged, my fiance had a little brother, and I dated my fiance for 10 years, so I watched him essentially grow up. He was like 9 years old when I met him, and when he was about like 14, I was selling like weed and shit, and I was a big drug dealer, weed-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this, but the whole time I was selling weed and mushrooms and shit like that, this little kid was taking shit out of my stash and going to school and selling it, making big money.
That's
Not me.
entrepreneurial.
So he tells me this was like he's 18 at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking. Oh God. And he said, "Yeah, Tyler." He was like, when you remember when you got that ounce of mushrooms?" I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know about that?" He's like, "Oh, I took about like 4 or 5 grams." He's like, "I ate 2 of them. I tripped my balls off when I was like 14." I was like, "Oh shit." And he's like, "Then I went to school and I sold them for like $100." I was like, "Damn." And I always wondered where this kid had all this money for fucking Fortnite skins and shit like that. And
That's what he spent it on.
obviously not giving him any money.
He was slinging product just to buy fucking Fortnite dollars.
Fortnite skins.
Yeah, and you know how we caught him was, so I had a Coca-Cola can stash can,
Uh-huh.
and it went missing for a few years, and I was like, okay, I must have accidentally thrown it away. Well, one day he walks in with this dented fucking can that looks like it's been through hell, and I'm like, what the fuck? I pick it up, I unscrew the cap, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker. So he was taking that Coca-Cola can, putting all the drugs in it, weed and everything, like, cause he was selling weed for 30 a gram in fucking middle and high
Jesus.
school.
I
was
mean,
bro.
in middle school it makes sense, but high school, come on, you can get fucking better deals from anybody.
So dude, he had so much money, it was so fucking funny. And then he's like, he just stopped doing drugs. He was like, "No, I don't do them." He's like, "I don't fucking deal with it." And he got his girlfriend pregnant at 16. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. She was 14.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's no good. I'm glad I avoided all that. I was the worst thing I did. The worst thing I did in high school. Let's probably smoke a whole bunch of weed, but in like sophomore year, one of my friends came to school on 420 and had an edible, and so I took off one of my socks and I hid it in my sock and put the sock in my backpack and just passed it around to everyone in the group except for the guy who brought it, and we all took like a little piece.
Oh my god, no.
And I'm like, if you don't want people stealing your weed at school, don't, like, brag about it, dude. But he was fine.
He's like, "I got more at the house." That's
Okay.
hilarious.
I'm gonna rejoin on my phone real quick.
Okay.
Go for it. I think the dumbest thing I did in high school was fuck a girl and got caught on camera.
Oh no.
Banned me from the school.
Just straight up
Didn't
banned.
ban the girl though. Even though it was her idea and it was her car. But no, I'm the guy, so I gotta take full responsibility. They're like, "Oh, you can't go to public school no more." Okay. The reason why they were so mad is because I was in JROTC and I was in uniform. And
Yeah.
like, people die in that uniform, and I was like,
People
they
also
probably
fuck
have.
in that uniform. I don't see the
Yeah,
problem.
like, yeah, I think they'd be kind of happy about this. I'll never forget before I started smoking weed, and it was like my freshman year in high school, and I was a straight edge kid doing JROTC before I fucking started fucking around. And like, half the battalion got caught smoking weed. Half the fucking battalion, which was insane. They were all going after a fucking practice, like, to their fucking cars and just smoking down, and the fucking sergeant caught them, and they all got banned from the school. I thought that was hilarious. It's like straight edge military fucking assholes telling fucking teenage kids they can't smoke weed is wild.
Well, my school was right across from the police station, but it was a bunch of rich kids. I went
Oh no.
I went there because they had a really good arts program, so I would like ride my bike a couple miles to school. because they had this program where like anyone from the district can go there because they had this art program, but you had to like audition and get in. I managed to get in, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, I can go here." But the kids who were just like from that district were all a bunch of rich kids. They're all on Xannies and uh, all that shit. So the every year there would be like some kids strung out and just like one kid fell down the stairs because they were just on something. I'm not sure,
That's crazy.
but I'm like, these rich kids have no like sense of discretion because they're literally right across the street from the police station. I would go into a drainage ditch behind my house, like a storm overflow area, to smoke weed.
My parents didn't ever suspect a thing, which was so funny. Like I was like smoking from 16 to 18 before I moved out,
Mm-hmm.
and when I finally told them I would smoke weed, and they were like, I asked them, I was like, how did you never know? And they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, you never gave us any signs. I was like, really? Burning incense in the middle of the night, opening up the window, and pointing the fan in the opposite direction of my room, blowing outwards? You know, like, none of these things screamed, hey, what's he doing in there?
Thought you were just
I
very
don't
mindful, very demure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'd have friends over and we'd fucking eat all the food in the house. I guess, I mean, that is a very teenage thing to do, but it's just, nah. Like, I smoked in my room. That was the next thing I was gonna say. Is like, we didn't sneak around. Like, we just smoked in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that loud ass shit too. My parents didn't even know. And then by the time they found out, they were like, "Oh my god, you smoke weed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Except for they called it dope, and I was like, "It's not dope." But let's get that straight real fast.
Yeah.
Like, don't start telling people I'm doing dope, because that's not, no. No, it's weed, it's pot, call it whatever, just not that. You've been smoking the dope? Like, no. Wrong term.
If I were just be like, if I were smoking dope, you would have noticed.
Yeah, you would have known, trust me. The constant fucking nodding out. Crazy. I'm so bored.
It's wired. You're wired. What do you mean check connection?
Is the router giving you issues?
Yeah.
Anyway, how's everyone in the stream
That weed is
doing?
garbage now. I can't believe it.
Hopefully everyone's having a good time listening in.
Bought a $300 expensive premium pack to let it sit there. It just makes no sense to me.
I'm trying to get my printer to print because I want a lot of zines. I want to like distro some zines about drug use, harm reduction, and other stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it's very difficult to do that when I can't print anything.
Yeah.
You hear me, you motherfucker?
Your printer's working for the cops. Doesn't want you spreading the good word of harm reduction.
Fucking, I guess not. Alright, let's see if it'll print this at the very least. It looks like it's... Okay. Okay. Let me just try and print one thing. Right click, print.
Holy shit! I found the fucking car that was running away from the police that I found for the police the other day.
Yeah?
I found the video. That's crazy.
Mm-mm.
It says it's receiving data.
Should be printing then.
See, it's wired in, so I don't know why it wants a fucking connection.
So the government can scan your paper.
No.
Oh my god, it is!
Okay, it did print. Okay, so whatever wire or whatever that my roommate plugged into it when he moved everything around fucked up, so. Okay, I gotta get going because I'm gonna go meditate.
Okay.
Bye!
See it.
Got my printer working, that was a goal, and now it's accomplished. Bye!
Bye. Ugh. I played a little bit of Tarkov earlier today.
Is that your car? No.
What's up?
I'm watching this video again.
Mm.
Update. It's sound wrecked, not drivable. Thank you guys so much for all your help. The people are so shitty sometimes. If anyone's interested. Downtown here. Damn.
Have you seen the video of the cops who try and pull over an Amish guy who's like passed out drunk?
No.
So there's
I'll go
this
watch it now, bet it's on YouTube.
yeah, it's an Amish guy and he's passed out drunk and his horse, he's in a horse and carriage and
Oh,
his
that's right. The horse is carrying him. I have seen that.
yeah, the horse is just like, we're going home, and the cops try and pull him over, and the horse just like keeps going.
Yeah. The horse knows where to go. Like, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why he does it. He probably does it often. The horse just takes him back home, and he wakes up the next day. He's like, oh shit. And he's like, damn. Probably making moonshine.
I honestly think the Amish are probably one of the better religious parts of America. Because they're just Luddites. They're not really
You're like, whoa.
they're not really like harmful or anything. The horse knows how to get him.
That's wild. Even the police were like, ah.
We got a drunk Amish guy passed down the buggy. Daily and both roads just turned east.
It's a great video.
He hollered at the guy. He's passed clean out. He slumped over.
Jesus.
Whoa.
No. Did they ever stop the horse? Oh, they stopped it.
Yeah, they managed to stop it, I think.
He stopped. He's like, whoa.
Okay, grab the horse so it doesn't do any more damage, please. It's rammed it into my car already.
I'd like to be the
He's coming around to grab him. I don't want him backing up.
I'd like to be the police chief after that call and be like, "How'd your car get dented?" And he's like, "A horse."
Well, the buggy's actually hitting it, funny enough.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Well, for right now, until I can determine on who you are, you see here, I'm going to detain you. All right. All right?
Yeah.
Move. I pulled mine up. It's all over the back. Oh, she did, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I started walking around the corner of the car to grab the reins, and that's when it fucking took off. Dude, I would have stopped here, man. Okay. Every time you get beside of it, you freaking speed up.
The horse is like, no.
The horse is like, "I don't talk to pigs."
Oh, that's crazy. The Amish. Wait, here's another one.
Of course there. Well, if I'm remembering this correctly, the Amish have a tradition where, like, when you turn a certain age, you're allowed like 1 year to go out into the wider world and just do whatever. And then you can choose after that year to come back and like live in that community or like go off on your own. And so I'm not gonna say like, oh, they all go fucking crazy, but I'm sure like a lot of kids who have that opportunity to just go out and just be in the world, they party hard. They have to.
Yeah, I mean, cause like, you got to. You got 1 year.
Pack of beer. Also spot something unusual for an Amish buggy, a stereo system with large speakers.
Someone pimped his ride.
Experiment with influences from the outside world, but authorities in Trumbull County say they have a duty to enforce the law in Amish country the same way they do in the rest of the county. Unfortunately, they're not licensed, as far as the buggy goes, but it is enforceable. It's on the roadway. The OPI laws do apply. You're not allowed to drive or operate a buggy. The deputy attempted to stop and question the two men in the buggy about drinking and driving. They jumped out and ran to a heavily wooded area on the side of the road. The buggy took off running, and the deputy gave chase.
He's like, alright, I'll meet you at home. Don't worry, I got this.
Out within a short distance away. I've never operated an Amish buggy with a horse, but I'm told that the horse knows the way home, regardless if the operator is awake or even in the buggy. And that horse, I think, just went a little further down the road and on an oil gas well road and stopped. No one has come forward to claim the horse, so the sheriff's office has turned the animal over to a local farmer until the owner can be identified. Once authorities find out who the wayward members of the Amish community are, they could be charged with failure to comply. The deputy ordered them to stop. There's just that fear of the consequences.
They didn't even catch him.
That's gotta be a terrible hangover. You wake up the next day and you're like, "Fuck, we lost the horse," and you can't go get it.
He lost the horse and buggy. But you know, on the bright side, they can't. You know, they don't know who you are, where you're at. You're not on the grid.
Hey,
They can't do anything,
Zybins.
like, All they know is you're two Amish dudes who got drunk in a buggy and abandoned the buggy. Like, ain't got no names, no nothing.
Yeah, and I doubt you're gonna really hurt anyone if you're... Like, what's the max speed of a horse and buggy? I doubt you're gonna run anyone over drunk driving a horse.
Well, I think a horse would stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna hit another car. It's not like... Because that's the thing, like, the animal itself, you know, that could probably be argued in court. It's like, hey, the horse is driving the buggy, therefore the horse is the driver.
I'd
I'm
l-
a passenger.
I'd love to see that argument play out in court. Your Honor, the horse was actually the one driving, and since he was sober, he was our designated driver.
I mean, technically, because, like, yes, you... I don't...
I'd like to see them try that.
Because, like, you could tell an Uber where to go, right? Like,
Yeah.
you tell the horse, like, go home, and it goes home. Would that technically be drinking and driving? But that is gold. And even if they get a DUI,
What are they
It
gonna
doesn't
do?
matter,
Take
'cause-
their license?
they don't have one. That's what he was saying. They're like, these people don't even have a license. You know, I want to look up the Amish
Yeah.
and, like, where did that start? You know,
Pennsylvania. They're also known as the Pennsylvania Dutch.
the Amish are a protagonist group with roots in the European Anabaptist movement in the 16th century. The Amish originated in Europe in 1693 when Jacob Admin led a split from the Swiss something blah blah blah. Okay, I don't really care. Here we go. Immigration to America. The first Amish arrived in Pennsylvania in the 1730s to escape prosecution. Other Amish groups emerged in North America in the 18th and 19th century. In the 19th century, the Amish split into Old Amish and the Amish Manitories. The Old Order Amish retained more of their traditional culture, while the other Amish did not abide from using motor vehicles. Okay.
I think and this is just from what I remember. I'm not like looking at anything, but I think the whole point of the religion is not like, oh, we shun technology because it's evil. I think the whole religious argument is that physical and manual labor gets you closer to God. Like, physical labor is a form of worship.
About to read.
Yeah, that's that. Am I right on that one?
Hang on. So their lifestyle, they're known for their conservation and modest ways of life. They follow the Ordnung, which is an unwritten rule about daily life. They avoid technology like smartphones and TVs and get around by horse-driven buggies. Their beliefs is the Amish believe that the baptism should take place during the young adulthood, and they believe that infants cannot make an informal decision about their faith. They also believe that their religious faith and the ways of their life are inseparable and independent. Well, that doesn't really tell us anything.
Hmm.
I'm gonna actually go to the Wikipedia. It'll be a lot more in detail. So, Amish church members begun with an adult baptism, usually between the age of 16 and 23. Church districts have between 20 and 40 families, and the Old Order Amish and the New Order Amish worshiper services are held every other Sunday in the members' home or barn, while the Amish worship every Sunday in churches. The rules of the church, which differ from some contexts between different districts, are reviewed twice a year by all members of the church. Blah, 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 blah. Implementation to years of power, line electricity, telephones, and phones, as well as regulations on clothing. Generally, a heavy emphasis is placed on church and family relationships. The older Order Amish typically operate on their own one-room schools and discontinue formal education after grade 8. Between 13 and 14, most Amish do not buy commercial insurance or participate in Social Security, as present-day Amish church members practice non-resistance and will not perform any type of military service. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the insurance thing is they argue that insurance is a form of gambling.
Submission or letting be, perhaps better understood as the reluctance to be forward or self-promoting or to assert oneself. The Amish willingness to submit to the will of Jesus, expressed through groups, norms, is at odds with the individualism. What? Individual environment, culture, damn. Amish anti-individual orientation is a motive for rejecting labor's saving technologies that might make one less dependent on the community. Modern inconveniences such as electricity might spark a competition for status goods, or photographs might cultivate personal vanity. Electric power lines would be going against the Bible, which says that you shall not be conformed to the world. Amish church members. What does that even mean? Hang on. That you shall not be conformed to the world? What does that even mean? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of silly.
I'm not sure, but that seems that passage may not apply as directly anymore. I don't know. I'm not a theologist.
Okay, hang on. It's Roman. Okay. Do not be conformed to this world, but you're transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. That still doesn't.
I think
Doesn't.
it's more of like don't be focused on earthly stuff.
Materialistic things.
Yeah, because that's not what's important.
Hmm.
That at least
So then
that's
you were
how I.
basically right.
Yeah, that's at least how I hear it.
So the way you were saying it right, basically, was they don't believe in technology because doing so would be like kind of a slap to the face to God. Like, you yourself are capable of doing this, so
Mm.
you do it yourself. Otherwise,
Yeah,
why are you here?
that's something that I would. I was gonna say I'd like to have a talk online with someone who's
An Amish
Amish,
person.
so that I could like hear more about it. But
Bet there's a Discord for it.
if there is, I'd be surprised how many people are on there, because they probably have. I'm sure they have like outreach people and like public relations people
You know,
who.
people who have been in the Amish and left.
Yeah.
There's Discord for everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna run back to Araxxor and then I'm gonna get some more water.
Hydration check. Ow. Damn it, Tyler. Can it stop?
All right.
Woo!
What was that?
Keep burping and it sucks.
Uh,
Trying to breathe. Path of Exile.
fun.
Yes, it has been fun actually. A little hard to get into, but fun nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a big. That's the most common complaint I've heard about Path of Exile is it's a bit intimidating for people trying to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Very intimidating indeed. Best way I could put it would be like Diablo on crack, essentially.
Yeah. Diablo, but you need a statistics degree.
It took me a solid couple of weeks to figure out what I was supposed to be doing.
What build are you running right now?
I am running the oh gosh. It's not pyromancy, it's a fire build for a witch. I'll show you real quickly.
The Infernalist?
I think so. I didn't know you played this game.
Oh yeah. I played Path of Exile since 2015.
Oh wow. You've been playing this one?
Yeah, I played it for a bit, but you know, it's still in beta,
Early
so a
access.
bunch of stuff is getting nerfed and changed, so I kind of want to wait. If I'm gonna spend like a good day or so making a build, I don't want it to get nerfed into the ground like 20 hours later.
So far, they haven't really messed with this build, but it's not like the most broken thing ever. They've got way more builds to be balancing,
Mm-hmm.
especially the monk right now. That shit's ridiculous.
When it first came out, I played Cast on Freeze Comet,
Ooh.
and that got nerfed immediately because it was way too strong, but it was super fun.
Did you beat the game?
I got to the end game, but I didn't get to any of the pinnacle bosses.
I see. I haven't even beaten the game. I'm still running through. It's crazy. I'm only level 39 right now.
I think it has some of the best boss fights of any ARPG.
Yes. Very, yeah, they're just very unique in that you actually got to pay attention. And every boss actually has different mechanics. So, like, you can't go to one boss, you know, be a total badass and then know the next one entirely.
The
Spam ability, spam ability, spam ability.
the thing I kept telling myself as I was playing through the game was just don't stand in stupid. If something looks like it's gonna kill you, it's stupid, don't stand in it, and you won't die.
These souls are fucking absolutely broken. I need more spirits. Need more arsonists. I love how beautiful it looks too. The game looks great.
Oh yeah. It's very
Diablo 2-esque.
oh yeah. I mean the original one was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Diablo 2. And I feel like they've sort of stuck with that.
Yeah. Why'd you have to fuck up a good formula, Diablo?
Mm-hmm.
3 wasn't bad, but 4, oh god.
And what was the mobile one? Diablo Eternal?
Immortal?
Immortal,
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
play that one. If anything says microtransactions, I don't play it.
Don't you have phones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Got the best phone to play it on, probably.
Show me the pet. Nope.
I don't want to play anything on my phone. It's gonna be old school RuneScape. And that's about it. I miss Apex Mobile. That shit was so fun.
Apex Legends had a mobile port?
Yeah. No, it was just its own game. Like, it was just called Apex Mobile. Apex Legends Mobile. And yeah, it was its own fucking game and everything. And oh, it was great. Went on for a year and they made millions. And then for some weird reason, for no reason at all whatsoever, decided to just end it. And for no reason. Like, it had nothing but good reviews and people were loving it and playing it. And they were just like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
No sense.
I like Apex Legends. I think it's a fun game. I played it a little bit, but I'm kind of sad that we're never going to get a Titanfall 3 because of it.
For real. I would have loved the Titanfall 3.
Hello, strange people on the internet. How are you doing? Not strange, but I don't know you, so you are strangers. Unless you talk in chat, and then you won't be. Yeah, but I got Titanfall 2 for a sale. I struck gold this this winter Steam sale.
Yeah.
I got Titanfall 2 for like $3. I got
Hey,
the entire Witcher series for like $15.
that game is hard.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I
I
also
tried getting into it. It's too complicated for me.
I also have I got all this was like last year, but I got all of the I got Resident Evil 1, the port from the GameCube, and then I got all the remakes up to Resident Evil 4. And just this winter sale, I got Resident Evil Biohazard, so I'm gonna do that one.
Resident Evil was one of my favorite franchises growing up. I played them all when I was a kid. I remember when the first one came out on PlayStation 1. Wild Days. That shit was very hard back then. As
Hello,
games were.
Jones projects. That's nice. What are you farming? Yeah. I really liked how they sort of stayed faithful to the formula in the GameCube remake. For Resident Evil 1. I think the remakes they've done recently are good too, but they're just different gameplay-wise.
Oh, yeah.
They're a little bit more action-y.
Did you get Resident Evil 0?
I have it, and I was like, it seems like it should be co-op, but it's not. You have to like
No.
control two people at the same time.
You would think, but no. Have you played Code Veronica yet?
I have not.
That's probably the best Resident Evil, the longest and hardest one. And it's just so... no one ever talks about it.
Code Veronica. I'll look into it. Is it on Steam? Because if it is, I can definitely check
I'm
it out.
sure it is. I mean, if all of Resident Evil games are on Steam, it's there. Because it is an official, real title that just got kind of forgotten. And I don't know how. Because it just had so much going on. It was right after Nemesis. Right before 4.
Oh, wasn't Nemesis, like, supposed to be a spin-off that became sort of a standalone title?
What do you mean?
I might be remembering this wrong. Was Resident Evil 3 the one that was like, oh, this is sort of a spin-off title, but then they were just like, no, it's fine. It can be just called it Resident Evil 3.
No, the controversy between Resident Evil 3 was the fact that it was in the same place as Resident Evil 2, but it was different people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like the same story, but with a different enemy. And so that might have been kind of
Maybe
what
that's
was, I
it.
don't know.
I didn't keep up with it when it was coming out.
Because the first one, you go in there, find out Wesker's fucking a traitor, and he has the T-virus, and the second one is you playing as Claire and Leon escaping Raccoon City with, oh god, what's her name? The little girl.
Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley. And then in the third one's Nemesis, where you play as Chris and... No, you don't play as Chris, you just play as Jill Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
And the new guy, I can't remember his name, it's
Not
something.
Wesker. The Carlos, is it?
Yeah,
Something
Carlos. Yeah, and then... Then Code Veronica came out, and that continued the story of Jill trying to find her brother after leaving Raccoon City, because that's what she was doing in Raccoon City to begin with, was to go see her brother Chris, and just so happened to be in the mix of the chaos. And she ended up going to an island thinking Chris was there, but it was actually Umbrella tricking her. Well, it wasn't trying to catch her, but it was trying to catch Chris,
like.
but ended up, using her as bait. And so that's what Code Veronica is her going through this facility on an island, I think it's in Cuba. And it's has another virus, because every Resident Evil almost has a different virus. The first one's the T virus, the second one's the G virus, the third one is the G virus and the T virus put together, which makes Nemesis.
And then fourth is the parasites, right?
Yeah, the fourth one is that magic voodoo dude who controls them, and then the fifth one has to do with Ouroboros. And then the sixth one was, I think, just normal zombies, but Umbrella was taken over by a new company. And then so it was like Green Pharmaceuticals or something like that they were going against.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that girl gets older and she ends up getting with Wesker's son, which was just kind of funny.
I like that 7 is sort of a soft reset.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It has
I've
to do with the new family.
Yeah, I haven't played too much of it, but
Shit's scary. Holy fuck.
yeah, it is.
Bio is fucking the most scariest Resident Evil I've ever played in my fucking life. Shit, I can't even play it today. Shit gives me the creeps.
I could never get into to a lot of horror games, but Resident Evil always felt more like a puzzle game more than a horror game. It's a puzzle game where you get punished with horror if you do the thing wrong. Like
Have you played the remake of second and the third one yet?
I have played the remakes, but the one that freaked me out the first was my first playthrough of Resident Evil 1, where I was like, oh, I'll just kill these zombies and they'll be dead, and then the Crimson Heads come out, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit!
They're like, oh, reanimated them. Like, oh shit. I remember you have to fight the first Crimson, you had to put the mask on it. That shit was scary as fuck.
Jill,
The
you were
first one
almost
was
a
great.
Jill sandwich.
Good old classic.
Poison Ivy's got
Jill sandwich.
Poison Ivy's got really good chance for
You're lucky enough to
Tangleroot.
get the shotgun off the fucking wall.
I think I did.
I think you can go back in there later, like way later. I just can't remember how you reset that trap and go back in. There's a lot of different things. Like Resident Evil 1's the most complex, puzzle-ridden horror game between the series, because like that one does not tell you what to do. It's just like, here you go. You either play as Chris or you play as Jill, and they each get their own unique item.
But I loved
Have
that.
fun.
That was one of the only games, like, whenever I play a big title, a lot of the times if I get stuck on something, I'll, like, look it up. But for Resident Evil 1, I never felt like I got super stuck. It always felt like,
I
oh,
did every time.
it always, there's enough clues to be like, I don't know where the thing I'm looking for is, but I know what I'm supposed to be looking for.
Took me forever to figure out that game. I played all the originals and the remakes, and they're all like, they're every single Resident Evil is different in their own aspects. So neither game is ever going to be the same.
Yeah.
I think the closest comparison would be 1 and 2 originally,
Mm-hmm.
but even then, like, they had different abilities and things going on and mechanics that were totally different. Man, having fucking damn, what was that big fucking dude's name from Resident Evil 2 that followed you around all the damn time?
Fuck. There's Nemesis, which isn't that one. That's the next one.
Nah, yeah, that's the third one, which is even worse, but it's like Mr. something. I can't
Mr.
remember his name.
Hands.
No, it's not Mr. Hands, it's
Um,
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
Mr.
Google it.
Mr. something. You're right with about that.
Evil 2. Mr. X. That's right.
Yeah.
Also known as the T00 Tyrant, which was made with the G virus. That motherfucker scared the shit out of me when I first played through the second remake. And then they had the nerve to come out with Nemesis on the third one. They were like, oh, so you like Mr. X and like how he chased you everywhere? Alright, well now this motherfucker has a chain gun, a rocket launcher, and he can run at you. It's like, oh. Shit. Stars. I love that. That's like my favorite character throughout Resident Evil is Nemesis.
I think Barry's probably my favorite character.
Why? He's such a traitor. What the fuck you mean?
He's a traitor in the first one, but then he's like, "Oh, I only did it to save my family," and I'm like,
Which is true.
Barry, you big dope. I'll get you out of this pickle."
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, he did do it because, Wesker was, threatening his family.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you could have killed him, is all I'm saying. Like, you could have prevented him from ever getting the T-virus and getting to that point, and... Or no, I think he already had the T-virus. I can't remember, did he infect himself at the end of the first one, or was he already infected by that point? I'd have to look that up.
I don't remember. It was a while ago that I played it.
No, it was at the end of the first one because you think Wesker died because remember the tyrant stabs him like through the chest and throws him to the side. That's
Yeah.
the final boss, and then you think, oh, he's dead, but he actually wasn't. I think that's how he got the T-virus, was he got stabbed. Wesker got the T-virus. Wesker injects himself with the T-virus around 4 years into the T-virus pandemic to survive the threat from Alice, a mutant. A virus mutated. The virus mutated him, giving him regenerative... Well, Alice... The virus mutated him, giving him regenerative abilities, and allowed him to escape the Spencer Mansion. Wesker injects himself with the prototype strain of the T-virus in 1998 during the Mansion incident. The virus allows him to survive the impalement of the T-002. Wesker infects himself with the Ouroboros virus, a mutagenic viral agent. In the final of Resident Evil 5, the virus gives him more strength and transformations his arms into tentacles, and he can use to attack and grab his target. Fuck that shit. I hated that boss. Pull out the RPG, just like every other Resident Evil. Is it the prototype virus or the Ouroboros that gives him power? That's a good question. Pretty sure it's the prototype. The prototype virus, he isn't infected by Ouroboros until the last, like, 5 minutes of Resident Evil 5. Fair. Neutral selection leaves the survivor stronger and better. But you do know the actual lore of Resident Evil, right? Like, how it all started?
Yeah, bioweapons by Umbrella, and they test it out in this mansion, and things go to shit because, of course, they do.
Well, that's, like, I guess what you would know as... I mean, I'm talking about deep lore. Like, so... The lore goes as, I think it was 1950s or 1960s. The founder of Umbrella was a pharmacist.
Uh-huh.
And over there in Africa, there was this flower that if you ate it, you had a 99% chance of dying. But if you were that lucky 1%, it gave you supernatural abilities and you were immune to all diseases.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided to go with 3 other scientists to go research this flower. And so by the 1970s, they had essentially extracted the flower's essence and came up with the prototype T virus, which was an actual natural occurring thing that, you know, just happened in natural flowers. Then they weaponized it, just for profits. And originally, the idea was the dude who found it, or the scientist, can't remember his name. It's Spencer, the guy who owned that mansion.
Mm.
He was trying to find a cure for humanity. He was genuinely trying to be good, and he was trying to, like, save the world, but in the end, his corporation's higher-ups ended up planning an assassination on him, get him killed, and then turn it into a bioweapons manufacturer under the guise of a medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they started weaponizing the T-virus, and then Wesker ended up finding out about it because he was part of the research team that was actually doing research in that facility. And when he caught wind of its potential, he also got greedy and saw it as a way to make money. And he tried to steal the virus, and he ended up, you know, obviously failing. But in the end, he got, like, superpowers, so, like, you know, who really lost there?
Yeah.
Which is the same flowers in Resident Evil 5, by the way.
I have
when you
not
go
played 5 yet.
to...
Is it worth it?
Yes, I'll be the only person that will tell you Resident Evil 5 is worth it. Everyone and their mother hates Resident Evil 5, and I don't know why. Because it's another Resident Evil, it's a good story, it's hard, it's got mechanics and puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
I played it a million times over. I don't know why people hated it. So yeah, I definitely think you should play the 5th one. Because, like, it explains the Ouroboros virus, it explains how Wesker, you know, is defeated, it, you know, explains where Jill's been all this time, because, you know, you were like, oh, where's Jill been?
Yeah.
That gets, you know, explained, and there's all kinds of loose ends that get tied there.
I think it's a good series. I enjoy it.
Did you play the 4th one?
Yeah, I
4 was when they started doing the more adventurous, like, over the shoulder gunplay,
mm-hmm.
like you have now for, like, Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and Operation Raccoon City, which I don't know if you've played Operation Raccoon City.
I have not.
That is a non-canon Resident Evil game about a Spec Ops unit that Umbrella has that goes into Raccoon City and, like, tries to contain the situation, but manages to fail. Do you remember Hunk in Resident Evil 2, the secret character you got to play as?
No, I haven't. I wasn't aware that was a thing.
What? Oh yeah, there's a whole thing once you beat Resident Evil 2. I don't remember what you have to do, in order to unlock it. But yeah, you play as a whole nother Resident Evil game. It's called pretty sure it's just called Hunk, and it's about a spec ops. It's actually about, and this is actually real lore. The guy who got away with the G virus for Umbrella during the Raccoon City invasion. So like, it was the only survivor of that spec ops unit that got away with what they were supposed to get away with.
Ah.
But it's really hard because it's timed, and you're trying to like escape Raccoon City, just like you were in Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
There might be an Easter egg. Let me see how you unlock that. So you
If
can...
it's in the remake, I can probably
It
go
is in the
back.
remake.
Yeah, I could probably go back
Absolutely.
and try and figure out how to unlock that.
Absolutely. I know it has something to do with the computer, and when you type in the password for that desk, that might be the original. Let me see. Resident Evil 2. Here's your bonus modes, including the force. Oh, it's called the Force Survivor scenario, which stars everyone's favorite Umbrella operative Hunk. Some players may be curious on how they will go about unlocking this mode, and may want to plan their playthroughs accordingly. To unlock Hunk on the Force Survivor scenario in Resident Evil 2, it is worth pointing out that Hunk is the only playable in this mode. Players need to beat the game with either Leon or Claire, and then beat the game again with whatever character they didn't choose as part of the second run. It's similar to the original Resident Evil 2 in that the game somewhat uses the same A-B scenario format. So beating the game with Leon first is considered the Leon A scenario, which unlocks the Claire B scenario. After Resident Evil 2 players finish the Clear B, they will unlock Hunk, the fourth survivor mode. Alternatively, players could play as Claire, a scenario, and then a Leon B to get the same results. Okay.
I think I've already beat it with both. I think I did Leon first and then Claire.
Then you should have it unlocked. It's in the extras.
Okay. Yeah, I never really check extras and stuff. I just play it for the story, and then I'm like, all right, that's good, and then uninstall.
I do all the Easter eggs. I find all the little trinkets, get all the achievements, do the hardest in game, like beat it under 2 hours with no saves, no healing potions. That shit's hard. Have you ever done that before?
I have not.
Yeah, so there's a game mode you can play where you can't use the storage box, you can't ever heal, and you can't save.
Yikes.
So you run through the game just the way you are, and you die, that's it. And it's doable, people do it. I've only done it in Res 3, but Res 2, no, I don't think I could do it.
The only game I've really like 100%ed was there's been a couple, but the Mad Max movie tie-in game. I just thought the driving around and blowing up other cars was really fun, so I didn't want to like finish the game, so I went back and did all the extras.
Ah, reminds me of my days when I played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the original first two.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I miss those days.
I've heard really good things about Knights of the Old Republic, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm like, it's
like a couple thousand years before the movies.
Yeah,
So, like, it's during the ancient times.
I played a bit of the MMO that came out after those two, and I know it's not like comparable, but the setting seems interesting.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the third one, or the MMO, is a continuation of the first and second storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bad heartburn. Hi, kitty. Damn it. Meow meow. Damn it, what do I do? I'm so bored.
Ah. You want to do some bandos?
I don't have the stats main game to do bandos.
Uh,
I do on my main, but my main doesn't have membership, and I'm not going to play my main. Honestly, I'm done with that fucking account. I made a new account about, I guess it's been about 6 months now,
mm-hmm.
and I've already got 99 fletching on it and everything like that. So, with almost 200 quest points. Maybe at 200 quest points, actually. But it's only got 70 attack, 65 strength, and 65 defense with 62 range and 80 magic. But yeah, I don't think I could do bandos. You need 75 strength to even get in there, don't you?
I think it's 70 strength or 70 agility.
Fuck the agility. Oh Lord.
I've just been freezing Bandos, and it's a pretty good method because he won't do either his ranged or melee attack if he's frozen.
All you gotta worry about is his minions, right?
Yeah. And you can prayer flick the minions. I usually don't because I'm going in with the Sang Staff and Blood Barrage. So I heal up pretty well.
Ooh. This thing was nasty.
I do want to get the Shadow. I think Shadow's my next big upgrade.
Shadow's so broken. God. I've seen people hit 130s with that thing. I'm like, what? Unnecessary.
I think if I have Shadow, T-Bow, and Dragon Hunter Lance, I can probably fairly consistently do challenge mode chambers and probably make time.
I want to try that new Soul Reaper axe.
Oh, it's so fun. I had it.
Or
I got it when it was like 400 mil, and I sold it to afford a T-Bow and do a T-Bow rebuild.
is it more now?
It's only like 300 at the moment.
Yay.
Bounces between 300 and 350.
Nice. Yeah, because isn't it basically this like right next to a fucking scythe in terms of like damage?
I'd say it's a little bit harder to use than a scythe, just because you do lose life when you attack with it, and then you have to make sure you don't lose your damage stacks. But yeah, I'd say it's just underneath scythe for damage.
Wow. How much is scythe going for right now? 1.3?
1.5 bill.
Oh, it went up a little bit. Okay. I know at the beginning of League, they were both around 1.3, 1.4. Makes sense that they went back. Everyone's done with Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I have never had that kind of money before, so...
Yeah, it took me a good few years to be able to afford a T-Bow rebuild.
I bet. Wish one of my homies would hit me up. Oh.
And show me that pet. Nothing. I feel kind of cheated because I have the jar is 1 out of 1500 or 1500,
Yeah.
and I have 4 of those. And I'm like, the pet is the same rate, just give me 1.
Oh, this cat's so happy. He's doing a little dance.
Was that the cat?
Yeah, that's the cat meowing. Oh, look at him. He's doing a little dance. He's so happy.
Meow.
That cat is just so excited. It's like a dog just doesn't know what to do.
I love I love those videos of cats raised by other animals, right? Because cats, they kind of, what's
They
it called?
mimic the other
Yeah,
behavior of other animals.
they
Yeah.
mimic whatever they grow up around. So, have you seen the video of that cat that was raised by pit bulls?
Uh-uh.
He has the same stance where he like turns his shoulders out and he like walks like he's super buff. It's
That's
very funny.
Oh my gosh.
Are you seeing it?
I'm looking at it now.
It's great.
He tries to look all intimidating. That's so funny. He barks too? That's crazy. The cat actually barks. Wild.
When I was growing up, we had 2 cats, and we lived out. There was a whole bunch of lizards, and the cats would always bring us the lizards, but they'd still be alive. So we just kept them as pets because if we put them back out there, the cat was going to catch it again. So we ended up one year having like 7 pet lizards all living in a big tank.
Lizards. Gotta give them those, oh gosh, what do they eat? They eat mealworms.
Yeah, they were alligator lizards. They're just like they're kind of cool. They have like a little checker pattern going down the side of them. But we just fed them crickets and they did just fine. Lizards are actually very easy to, well, some lizards. I'm not going to say all lizards, but insectivores are very easy to take care of because you don't need to, like, balance the diet of the lizard by giving them different insects. You can just feed the crickets, like, vitamins and, it's called gut loading, where you feed the insect a whole bunch of vitamins and minerals that the lizard needs. And, then the lizard just eats that and they're fine. Throw a 110. 17 kills left on the task, and then we might have to go back to back to try and get this Araxxor pet. Hopefully we get it before then, but we might not.
Friday, Saturday. Oh shit. Oh, we will get more fine-tuning model data starting Wednesday. Data is very consistent and offering up to 4 inches of snow on the low and 8 inches of snow on the high. On Friday night to Saturday morning, the snow will taper to a light snow shower and it will mix with freezing rain that will likely cause traveling issues on untreated surfaces.
Oh no, you're gonna get a snowstorm?
Yeah, but it'll last like a few days and then it's gone. Temps Friday will start in the 20s and barely make it above freezing with a high of 35. Sunday will start at 29 and climb to 20 or 38. Rubbing conditions will be rough Friday through Saturday morning. Power outages are likely to have place to go on. Blah blah blah. You'll go on for a day then. Because in Tennessee, bro, I remember 4 years ago, we one day it was snowing like a motherfucker. Had like 4 inches of snow,
Mm-hmm.
and not even like 24 hours later, it was all gone, and we were in the middle of like a really hot fucking winter, or not winter storm, but like rainstorm. Like it just went from fucking absolutely freezing weather to like 60-degree weather in a day. Absolutely insanity. The weather here in Tennessee is so bipolar, it can never make up its mind.
I wish I lived somewhere where it snowed. Not like all the time, but at least in the winter.
We barely get it. We might get. It's been consistent the last 4 years, but before that, we never saw snow very often. It was never like it never got this cold around here. Right now, it's 27 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never gets that cold. Rarely.
The only time I've seen snow where I'm at is like this very sad, like patchy. Most of the time it's hail, and sometimes you get like 1 or 2 flakes.
Oh, have you
So
never seen snow otherwise?
no, I've gone up into the mountains because up in the mountains we get plenty of snow. So sometimes you go up there. There's a town called Big Bear where I live. It's like probably about an hour's drive up the mountain for me. But it's freaky. I don't like driving in the mountains.
I don't blame you. Those sand people might get you.
No, it's just freaky because there's a lot of very tight turns, and then you look down and you're like, wow, I could just fall
I'm
to my
gonna
death.
die.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is Tennessee is nothing but hills, mountains, and fucking, like, there's no such thing as flatland. I haven't seen flatland in years. And when I do see flatland, it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh no. Because, like, I'm so used to just being surrounded by mountains and woods and everything. And then you get to, like, you go a couple hours one way or the other, and it just gets flat. Flat as fuck. Miles. You're like, whoa. So you're essentially in the desert, right?
Yeah.
Wild.
I'm not like
You'll have to show me what it looks like outside sometime.
it's pretty it's pretty this time of year when we get rain, the mountains get nice and green. But during the summer everything dries out and you can sneeze and start a wildfire.
That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. I know last few years, it's been bad up there. It's gotten worse and worse and worse.
Well, yeah. It's partly the drought and it's partly that our California's electrical grid is privatized and
Oh, like Texas.
yeah, and they don't spend anything on repairs because it's
Neither
cheaper.
does Texas.
Yeah, it's cheaper to just be like, yeah, we started a forest fire, sorry, than it is to replace like 700 miles worth of power lines.
That's so dumb. I remember it's been about 5 or 6 years, maybe not that long, when Texas had that terrible, terrible snowstorm because
Oh,
they
yeah.
never get snow. And then everyone was without power for months and shit. It was because like Texas literally was not a part of the grid for the
Uh-huh.
rest of the fucking country. They had their own fucking electrical shit that had not been updated since probably the 50s.
Yeah, and they weren't prepared for the snowstorm. They like never
Not at
expected it
all.
to be that bad.
We had a snowstorm like that in, I think it was 93 here in Tennessee. It was actually categorized as a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like stuck in their homes for like a month, and the snow was, oh god, I'd have to look up how, I wasn't born during this time, but stories that I've heard, like you couldn't walk outside because it would be all the way up to your fucking like door.
Oh yeah. I remember my parents were both in California when Mount St. Helen erupted, and they said like for months all around California ash was falling like snow for months
Oh,
after
that's
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
But that's just nature.
Yeah.
At least, when nature does something, it's nature, and like there's nothing you can do. But when it's human caused, it's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
totally could have been avoided.
Oh, but there's a good story about there was a photographer on Mount St. Helen the day it erupted, and
Oh.
he was out there. He was just taking like nature photographs, but he was there on the mountain when it was erupting, and he was like, "There's something called a pyroclastic flow. It's basically like a tidal wave of hot air that'll burn you to a crisp." And he was like, "You know what? I know I'm gonna die here, and there's no escape for me." So he just took as many pictures of it as he could, and then he put his camera in his bag and then huddled over it to protect the film. And he died, but they recovered his body in the pictures, and those actually really helped with studying volcanoes.
Aw. I gotta look up those photos.
Yeah, look up Mount St. Helen pictures. They're black and white, but they're very interesting.
That's so scary. He's like, I'm gonna die. Just
Might as well do something good while I still can, I guess. Very cool of that guy.
very demure. Sometimes humans can be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. Very rare.
Well, we also have, like, bad stuff sticks out in your memory more than good stuff.
True. You're absolutely right.
And also, I feel like a lot of people who do a lot of good things are generally more humble, so they're kind of bragging about it, whereas someone does something awful and it gets a whole bunch of publicity.
Yeah. Dabs away. Big dab.
What are you using, shatter or, like...
It's just sugar right now.
Okay.
Sugar wax. Woo!
Oy, come on, Araxxor. Be nice to me.
Oh god. Yeah, this is what I'm working with right now.
Ah, I see.
I'm gonna get some rosin tomorrow, but that shit's cheap and it tastes pretty decent. It's like lemons. God. 5 resin does hit you a little bit harder than fucking rosin, but rosin just is so much better in flavor. Oh. Oh. I miss my Puffco. That thing's awesome. But the maintenance on those things, not awesome.
Ugh. Yeah, the worst part about smoking is definitely all the fucking residue and sticky shit that gets everywhere.
No, I don't have that problem. Like, none of that shit gets anywhere on me, but I've been dabbing for 10 years now, so. I remember when it used to fucking be all over my pants and shit, though. And I'd be like, damn. You get in your hair and you're like, what the fuck? Like getting fucking... I think there was this one time, like, one of my homies ended up falling asleep, like, on his gram of shatter. And it
Oh
melted in his hair.
no.
And the next day he woke up and he was like, oh, dude, my wax. All in my hair. Dude, I just fall asleep on your fucking... He said he took a dab while he was in bed. And then he got so fucking high that he just passed out.
Unfortunate.
The only instance I've ever had something like that happen to me is like I fell asleep after taking a dab and I left my dabs out and ended up like it was just shattered, so it was very light. And I had all my fans on and it blew into my fucking carpet and I was like,
Oh no.
It's okay, nothing a little bit of freezer and pulling out hairs and it fucking won't help. I'll never miss the fucking titanium nails. Those were terrible. See, 10 years ago, you would have been 15, so I don't know if you smoked out of a titanium nail before.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay. You know what a banger is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a titanium nail was before bangers. Before we had quartz bangers for dab rigs, we had this fucking big-ass titanium fucking metal thing you would put on your bong and you would heat it up red.
Oh no.
Until it glowed and like you would take the dab right there and then while it was fucking red hot because the metal just instantly cooled down. It was titanium. So we were essentially smoking fucking hot metal dabs for a long time.
Oh, that couldn't have been fun.
I mean, back then, you know, we didn't know. I'll never forget the first time wax actually ever came around me. Like, we were all huge stoners, but we had never had wax, like, ever. So we didn't have the tools at all. Like, we had our bongs, we had our papers, we had our lighters, but we didn't have a torch, and we didn't have a rig. And back then, you couldn't find a rig. There was no titanium bangers, and there was no fucking normal bangers. So at this point, we were vaping out of these big-ass box mods, our nicotine vapes, before the disposables came out. I don't know if you know about those.
Yeah, I had one of those.
So do you know what an RDA is?
Don't know.
Okay, so when it comes to vaping nicotine, there's 2 different types of tanks you can use. There's the ones that you would fill up, and it had a coil in it, which is probably the one you use. And you would just refill it after every time, and you would replace the coil every so often.
Yeah.
But an RDA was 2 big pieces of cotton.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what it
around
was
the
called,
coil.
but I've seen those.
Those are called RDAs, and what we did, so we didn't have any way of smoking this wax, and it wasn't really smoking very well on flour. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't great. So what we did is we took our RDAs and we would put it up to like the highest wattage on our box mods would do. And we would put a dab right in the middle of the 2 fucking, the coils. and we would hit the fucking wax that way, and oh my god, that shit hurts so bad, but you get so high. Oh, those were the days. And then everything else started coming around, and wax became more available, and now it's widely accepted. I'm kind of pissed because I got raided, went to jail, had to pay fucking thousands of dollars in fines, and ended up becoming a felon. And now, like, it's sold everywhere in every store that I can look at. There's a fucking weed dispensary now.
Can you get it expunged, or is it like,
I did get it expunged,
yeah?
But
Because
the thing was, you can only do that once in your life. And that was my once. Like, if I ever do anything, which I don't plan on it, but if I ever fuck up in life again, I used my one ticket.
yeah, that's bullshit. For like,
Yeah, and when I got raided, it's not like I had guns. I didn't have like any other drugs. It's not like I had fucking LSD or like, I didn't have fucking, um, Xanax or anything. It was just literally, it was 2 pounds of weed and 3 ounces of wax.
right?
But here's the thing, here in Tennessee at the time, this was about 7 years ago, 1 gram wax was a felony. So I was looking at like 100 felonies. So like first offense, I've never even gotten a speeding ticket. They were wanting to put me away for 5 years.
Ooh, yeah, that's
So
rough.
lawyered up, ended up doing 11, what is it called, 1129 supervised probation. So 11 months, 29 days, where they can just call you whenever they want and be like, come take a drug test and see
Right.
if you've been smoking pot. And then right after I got out of probation, weed became legal here. And I was like,
Ugh.
like a big slap to the face.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
It
like, damn, okay.
probably sucks for people who have federal charges still.
Mm-hmm. I will never forget the way they raided us. Like, I had full-on SWAT. I got swatted. It was insane. 32 cops. Gunned up. Fucking geared to the teeth, kicking down my fucking door in the middle of the morning when I'm still asleep with my fiance at the time. And get the fuck up, get the fuck out of the bed, don't move your hands. I was butt ass fucking naked, my dick swinging everywhere. I'm like, whoa, dude, don't shoot me, please. Please, don't kill me. I'm just a weed dealer.
At least let me put on my pants before you shoot me.
Oh my god, that was the scariest thing. They were like, I had like fucking 4 cops pointing red dot SMGs at me. I'm butt naked. I'm like, where's the gun gonna be? Is it gonna be in my butt? How am I gonna kill you guys? So, like, they tell me to put on my clothes very slowly, and I was like so careful. They're like, where's the weed? Where's the drugs? It's right here, dude. It's right here, man. I promise. And they're like, is that all of it? It's all of it, dude. Like, it's tore up the whole fucking house. Broke things that, like, were totally pointless. Like, my fiance had a really nice, expensive, what are those cameras that take those small little, I think it's called a Polaroid camera, right?
Yeah.
He ripped her Polaroid camera in half trying to look for weed in it. So fucking stupid.
That's just cruel at that point. Like,
Yeah, they were breaking things to be breaking things. One thing they were doing that was really weird is like they kept flushing our toilet over and over. I guess they thought maybe I'd flush drugs down there, but what is flushing the toilet like 6 more times gonna do?
I don't know. Luckily, I've never had any run-ins with police.
Yeah, try not to because it really can give you some really bad PTSD. Because now when I get pulled over and I see those blue lights, like I genuinely freak out because I'm
Mhm.
like, oh god. Like I've gotten pulled over from just having a fucking tail light out and like I was shaking holding my license and the officer's like, "Are you on any drugs? Are you okay?" And I was like, dude, you're just honestly making me very uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Last time I saw a cop, they were pointing guns at me. So, screaming at me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget what they were saying too when they had me handcuffed. They were like, "We saved your life. You were gonna end up selling methamphetamine and heroin next." And I was just looking at them like, really? It's weed. Uh, yeah, it's a live and learn experience. See, your entire life, I assume you've lived in California.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been legal since you've been born.
Yeah,
Never had
pretty
to worry
much.
about that.
I
Like,
did have an investigator come to my place once because when I was 18, I got a medical card because
yeah.
that's how you got it before it became like recreational. And they were like, "How'd you get this doctor to sign off on you?" And I'm like, I literally just clicked on a website, called their office, and was like, "Yeah, I get headaches and sometimes I can't sleep." And they're like, "Okay, you can have weed." And I'm like, "Sweet."
Yeah, and like they can't get mad at them for that.
hmm
That's kind of crazy that they got that involved into your medical card case. That's interesting.
Well, I was 18 and I never met like face to face with the doctor, and so they were like, "This is."
Still, how did they know?
I don't know. They were like investigating the doctor, and they were just checking out all their patients, I think.
I guess that's crazy. The only time I've ever had a personal investigator come up to me was in a situation that my old friends were in, and I knew nothing about it. Apparently, some of my old friends in high school were selling guns,
Ah,
and like I dude had no fucking clue. So a private investigator pulls up when I was walking down the hill from the bus stop, and you know pulled me to the side, called off another officer, you know, talking to me and my parents, and saying like, do you know these two? And I was like, yeah, I know them. And they're my best friends. And they're like, immediately red flag.
mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, do you know anything about these guns? And then immediately my heart dropped. I was like, oh, hell. Like, fuck, dude, what have they done? Apparently my friend was stealing his dad's guns and then selling them to kids at high school by putting them in, crazy enough, stuffed animals. I was like, holy shit.
That's freaky, man. Like, I'm all for responsible gun ownership, which
Yeah, that's
means
definitely not
that's
responsible.
not responsible if your kid's like snatching them.
Like, these were guns that had their serial numbers scraped off and everything. Like
Mm.
they were intended for bad things, not for good things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't even know. And like the funny thing was is the way they got caught was the kid who ended up buying the gun ended up panicking and went home and told his parents that he bought a gun, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
And then they
well,
went to the police.
if you're freaked out about it, throw it in a river somewhere. Don't fucking snitch on yourself.
I mean, dude, I can imagine an anxiety-ridden kid, like, was probably planning to hurt somebody that hurt them, or like maybe got it for someone else to do something, and then they just were like, I don't want any part of this anymore.
Yeah,
Who
that makes
knows?
sense.
I've never been in a situation like that. I don't like guns. I'm for them, but like I just I'm terrified of death. So like therefore I don't like things that kill things. So therefore if anything that is harmful to me, I try to stay away from it.
Yeah. I feel like I was in the Boy Scouts and Part of that is like you can get the marksmanship merit badge, and so it's not like anything crazy. They like give
Shoot
kids,
22s, I assume.
huh?
Did you shoot 22s?
Yeah, they just give the kids 22s and they teach them basic like gun safety and maintenance and that kind of thing.
That's a good thing. That's smart.
Yeah, so I appreciated that. Um, and I think it's good. It's good to like demystify that sort of stuff. Don't make it seem like if you make owning a gun feel like a chore to a kid, they're much less likely to be like enamored with weapons. They're like, yeah, I could get a gun, but then I'd have to clean it and oil it and do all this stuff and then go to the gun range and, you know. I think similar things with like alcohol and like cigarettes is like, don't be like, oh, this is something cool and mysterious. Just be like, yeah, you can smoke if you want, but it's not going to be fun. Or you can drink if you want.
Fun,
It'll be
but
fun.
not as fun as you think.
Yeah. I remember in high school, one of my girlfriends, she had a pack of cigarettes, and she had this whole, like, justification. She's like, oh yeah, the only reason we have all this anti-smoking lobbies in the United States is because of the Cold War and our war on Cuba, and Cuba's main export was tobacco, and to hamper their economy, we made cigarettes illegal for minors to smoke. And I'm like, yeah, but what about cancer?
What about the fact that it's very, 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 very toxic?
Yeah.
You know? We will ignore that fact. It's okay. More so than smoking weed, but even weed's got a lot of, people think of weed's like the safest thing. It's like, no, it's almost grown the same way as tobacco. There's pesticides and all kinds of shit that, are in that crap that you're smoking, just like you would be tobacco, so you're no safer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just
But-
think inhaling hot smoke in any form is probably not good for you.
Yeah, that's what my mom tells me every time. Like, I hate it. Like, it kind of pisses me off because, like, I understand it and I'm an adult. I should be able to do my own thing. But, like, she constantly reminds me, she's like, anything that you put in your body that isn't oxygen is killing you. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Like, I love hearing that every time we talk.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you would just quit smoking weed. It breaks my heart. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I've kind of stepped away from weed. If I do it, it's just edibles at this point.
No, the edibles freak me the fuck out. I do love them. Like, the other day, right now our dispensary is running a special between 2 and 5, or maybe it's 2 from 6, happy hour on 150 milligram slushies.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll go buy one of those. They're only like $8.50 with tax and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Those things will fuck you up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I buy like the 100 milligram packets and then maybe like take 10 to 20 for the night and I'll be fine. Because I feel like it's just easier for me to control the dosage and I don't get like super fucked up if I get some like super gas and I'm like smoke the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I got off probation. I hadn't smoked for a whole year. And the whole time I was on probation, this is how you know I'm a weed addict, dude. Like, I cried for months because I couldn't smoke. Like, just the smell of it made me like, I was like, damn, I can't smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
I remember smoking that first hit. Oh god, I was so paranoid. I was so high. It was some of the loudest, dankest weed I'd smoked, and I thought I was gonna die. One fucking hit off of a small bowl, I was like too fucked up.
The
Took
one
me months.
thing I'm glad I quit doing is in like freshman and sophomore year of college, I had some roommates and one of my roommates would do chops. I don't know. Do you know chops?
I don't know what that is.
It's a California term. I know there's other terms for it elsewhere, but it's a bowl that's packed half tobacco and half weed.
Oh, we call those spliffs here.
Spliffs, yeah. For me, spliff has always been a joint that's half and half, and chops
Yeah.
are when you do it out of like a bong. And
Got you.
that freaked me the fuck out because I woke up one morning and we had like a 2 bedroom apartment, 2 people per bedroom, and
Mhm.
one shared bathroom. And I go into the bathroom to just like brush my teeth and wake up, and I look in and I swear it was like a chunk of lung, and I'm like, holy fuck. And I was like, I knew who it was too because he was the only guy who did that, and I did it a couple of times, but like he would do it, and the nicotine and the weed, and you just suck that through a bong. He would just like sit there and drool for 5 minutes after he hit it. I'm like,
No, bro, that's crazy work. I
yeah.
have an African friend that likes smoking spliffs, and I'm like, no, dude. I did it one time, and I was like, I'd rather just smoke the weed and then smoke a cigarette afterwards if I really am like that fucking hell bent to smoke some nicotine. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather my weeds just be my weed.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then my friends started putting Coke in the bowls, and they called
E.
that Super Sand.
Oh no.
Super like, so if you put Keef on it, that's Super Saiyan 1. If you put Keef and wax, that's Super Saiyan 2. If you put weed, Keef, wax, and Coke, it's Super Saiyan 3. Like, fuck me.
Goku shows up. Hey man, your drug addiction's pretty strong. Mind if I fight it?
Literally. Because, like, so I was so young and I smoked it, and then I realized, oh shit, that's smoking crack. Oh no, because cocaine, when you smoke it, it's smoking crack. I was like, no, I couldn't believe myself. I was like, it hurt. Never did it again. Because at the time I was like, oh, it's just some coke. And then I was like, wait a minute. No, we should have snorted that,
Yeah.
not smoked it. Stupid.
The one time I did coke, I didn't feel anything from it. And I was just
I
like,
stay away. Because my
yeah.
dad's a fucking cocaine fiend. And so if he has a bad addiction for it, then I damn well know if I started it, then I would fucking... That shit's an expensive drug.
Oh yeah.
Holy hell. My dad would blow fucking $1,200 checks in the early 2000s on like one day's worth of coke. Holy fuck. Doing like half ounce of coke a day between him and 4 other homies. That's insane.
Yeah, not worth it. In my opinion.
Nah, cause like $1,200 worth of weed gets you a pound. You know how long a pound's gonna last you?
It lasted me like half a year.
Dude, at least for anybody. I think even me a pound would last me half a year. I'd kind of get tired of smoking the same strain, and I'd probably have to vac seal each individual ounce so that way it didn't dry out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's do it. $1,200 whole year. Crazy. You ever done mushrooms?
I have, but I realized I've done acid and mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Acid, I felt oddly more in control of the trip, right? Because with acid, the hallucinations were so, they were so intense that I was able to, like, say to myself, okay, this is the drug. I know that this is what I'm on right now, and so I could handle myself a little bit better. With shrooms, it was a little bit more subtle, so I didn't really realize that I was tripping, and I just got loud. My friend, we set it up so we bought like an eighth of mushrooms. I think we bought a quarter, and we split it up 4 ways. And we took it at like 2-hour intervals, so that
Oh, you were talking about this.
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah.
day.
And my friend, I took it, I think, second, and my friend who was going third, he was like, let's get some snacks, and he drove me to 7-Eleven, and I was just being way too loud, and he's just like, you fucking stay in the car, dude. Tell me what you want and I'll get it, but you stay in the car, because...
Yeah. Mushrooms will make you loud. I don't know what it is. That's just a fact. Every time I do mushrooms, I am obnoxiously loud. In the middle of the fucking night, it could be 3 in the damn morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be yeehawing in here. Like, you would think a party was going on. It's crazy. I had a similar situation where, because I'm not going to drive on mushrooms, obviously,
Yeah.
where I was hungry, and my homie, he wasn't taking mushrooms. So he was like, I'm hungry too, you want to go get some cookout? Fuck yeah, let's go. The whole way there, I was like, being obnoxiously loud and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get up to the actual place, there's people, like, and my first thought is to roll down the window and hysterically laugh at everybody I look at. And he was like, dude, he's like, you can't be doing that. Like, you can't be just laughing at people. Because
Yeah.
there's just, when you're that fucking high on mushrooms and everything's funny, oh, that's a good time. I've got 5 grams of mushrooms right next to me.
I knew a lot of surfers who would microdose.
I've always wanted to try that because I feel like you would be in such a state of bliss all the time. Like, everything would just feel like so great.
Yeah. But I like having, why I've been trying to stay sober this year a little bit more, is I like having that state of equilibrium. So I know when I actually do something fun, it's like, oh, this is special, this is a treat. And I
I was
can,
gonna do that this year, and I'm fucking up horribly. What are we, 7 days in?
yeah.
Okay, in that 7 days, I have already bought an ounce of wax. And, like, I remember, I think it was, like, just 3 weeks ago, I was telling myself, I was like, alright, when the new year starts, Tyler, you are going to stop smoking as much. You're going to get, you know, you're going to do it only on the weekends, like Fridays, you know. Now I'm doing the same thing, taking a dab every 2 hours. Like, nothing's changed. Damn. I want to do that because I miss actually getting high. Like, it doesn't happen for me anymore. Even smoking wax, I just get, I don't know what the word would be.
You get level, but you're not really getting high.
Yeah, right. You're getting somewhere. Every time. Like, I could take another dab right now. It wouldn't make any difference.
Mm.
Oh, but I know if I could just push myself to quit for a month and drink nothing but lemon water and detox, because I've done it before. Oh man, that high you get at the end, it's so rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rewarding.
But I haven't done much in the past. Last year, I gave up weed last year, and this year it's alcohol. And then next year, maybe I'll go for nicotine.
See, I don't have all that much, just weed. I never liked alcohol.
Yeah.
I fucking hate nicotine. So my only addiction is weed, but that is the one that I'm so glued to.
Mm.
It has become like, if I was to break that habit, it would kind of fuck me up because I'm so OCD and I do the same patterns.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, waking up and not being able to take that first dab to start the day, or like take that dab right before I go to bed, or take that dab right before I eat. Kind of crazy.
Or take that dab right before I take that dab.
Literally, I was about to keep going, be like, or that dab before I take a shower, that dab before I go work, or that dab before, or when I get off work,
Mhm.
the dab when I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah, but I kind of have to buckle down and focus. This is my last semester of college, and then I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for work.
Yeah, do it now, man. Don't. I'm about to turn 30, and nah, I don't have any of that shit figured out because I've spent my whole 20s worrying about relationships with women or a
Mm,
woman and just partying
yeah.
so much.
John's projects in the chat says, yeah, he can't go out without his THC either.
Who?
One of the people in chat.
It's probably Callie. Callie has to smoke very often or has panic attacks.
Mm,
Um, who else in the chat smokes? Emily? Emily probably. She smokes like a fucking crap load, just like me. Um, I don't think anyone else does because Junifer doesn't smoke. Nitrogen Horse doesn't smoke. Warg doesn't smoke.
Oh, I was talking about stream chat.
Oh, stream. Well, they're all the same people. We just
Yeah.
jump between the different chats. Unless there's a whole group that I don't know about.
The live stream chat on my YouTube stream.
Oh, on your YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
going on a tangent.
Loading one right now, he says. Big
Hey,
ups. Keep putting those clouds in the sky, otherwise we're gonna have no rain.
is that what they said?
No, that's just something stupid I would say with my friends when I would smoke.
How many people you got watching you right now?
At the moment, like 3, but
What's up, Stoner Chat?
it's bumped up to 10 at this stream, but we're winding down now. We only have 3 Araxxor kills left, so I'll probably be
Well, they
ending stream.
forgot you were streaming, and I just told like 5 other people my story of my life, which is crazy.
That's all right. If you want, I can like make it
No,
private
no,
after
no, no,
this.
no. Shit's funny to me.
All
I
right.
don't give a flying shit. I wonder what homie is smoking on.
It's a good question. What you smoking, Joan?
He's smoking flower. Or no, they said they're taking a dab, right?
They're loading one right now. Not sure what that one is.
Oh, well, okay, that could either be packing a bowl or they're doing a cold start dab.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know which one they're doing. They'll tell you in just a second, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wanna.
He says he relates to your story. We've all been there.
Which story?
The just smoking in the morning. Oh, she's doing
Oh,
some out
yes.
of just packing a bowl in the bong.
Ah, gotcha.
I had a friend who spent all his money on an Illadelph bong, and he was like, "Man, I
Oh,
love this thing." It was
no.
like a 4-foot bong.
And it broke.
Yeah, it broke immediately. And I'm like, why do you spend? Because he had a habit of breaking bongs, and I'm like, why do you spend so much money on glassware if you're just gonna break it? It's like, I don't know.
I went through that phase. I think it was the first 3 years I was smoking weed. I had like 12, 13 different bongs for no reason. And they were all these like $400, $500 pieces for just, and you think back on it, they all break. They always break.
Get
It's
anything
glass,
good
they always will. And
get-
then the one time I actually bought a custom rig from like an actual artist, that's when I got raided, and then the police ended up taking it and breaking it. So I was like, great. So it's just buy you a fucking cheap piece.
Yeah. Or just paper.
Yeah, I'm more of a bong person. I never did like smoking joints, but hey, there's Wiz Khalifa. He likes papers.
Mm-hmm. Who was it who tweeted out, fuck, was it Wiz Khalifa? It was somebody, and they were talking about rolling blunts, but the tweet was
No, it
just
wasn't
like,
Wiz Khalifa.
it,
Nah, Wiz Khalifa doesn't smoke blunts. He's against that. He only smokes papers, no blunts.
well, some rapper was like, nah, we smoking
J.
we smoking penises.
Oh,
Like,
whoa.
like not even like gay, just being like, that's the size of the blunts we're rolling. But it was just so funny to me, just out of
That could
nowhere.
have been Juicy J. It might have been Burner. I mean, he smokes more joints than anything. Snoop Dogg and Juicy J are the only two rappers that I can like think off the top of my head that are very well known for smoking blunts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I was gonna say maybe like. Who's the guy who sings Blueberry Yum Yum? Fucking Ludacris. Maybe it was Ludacris?
Maybe. Thanks for subscribing, John.
Blueberry
Nice to
Yum
have you
Yum,
around.
get high. Oh, I miss that days. Blueberry Yum Yum.
Alright, 2 more Araxxor kills to see if we get the pet. If not, I'm probably gonna end stream because I've been going for like 3 hours. I gotta get up, stretch my legs a little bit.
Don't blame you. Yeah, get that blood circulation. Can't be gaming all day.
Yeah.
I hope you get the pet in the next 2 kills. What's your kill count?
2,500 about. And it's a 1 out of 5,000. 1 out of
Ooh.
1,500 drop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're due. You're very due. I hate that for you. Damn.
Oh. Andrew Powers in the chat says he saw Ludacris a few months ago.
I didn't even know Ludacris was still touring. That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought with all the
Man.
Pepsi money he made, he was just living in the Bahamas.
Good old Ludacris.
It says it was
Wonder
a private showing.
Oh, that makes sense. Wonder what Bone Thugs and Harmony are doing these days.
I feel like a lot of those guys, like from the 80s and 90s rap era have gone more into like the production side.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Because I'm sure you get older, touring really takes a toll on your body.
Oh yeah, it does. Forget who it was recently that said they were gonna do like their last tour and then that was it. And they're not very old. They were like, but we're getting too old. I don't remember who the fuck it was. Yeah. Yeah, and then once you make so much money, you don't really want to be cramped up in a van going across the fucking country for months. Did you hear that, I forget who the owner of Pink Floyd was, but he sold it to Sony.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they're old as hell. There's only, I think, 3 of them left alive. One of them being split off from the other 2. He left the band. I think it was David Gilmour that left. But yeah, sold it to Sony for, I think, $300 something million. I mean, it's not like they can play the music anymore,
No.
like in the fucking 80s and 90s.
That's the Araxxor task done. Come on. No luck this task. Maybe next time.
$400 million.
For the whole catalog?
Yeah, what was sold? The band's recorded music catalog name and likeness rights.
Mm.
David Gilmour said he wanted to get out of the mud bath. The decision making the arguments that came with keeping the band going. The deal was the result of years-long struggle. The other factors that contributed to dealing falling apart included raising interest and rates, tax issues, and the sinking value of the British pound.
Uh,
He's like, oh, I'm gonna sell that shit.
I have to get me fish and chips with the chemical.
Got to get me fish and chip money.
My simple bangers and mash is 200,000 nowadays, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't know Justin Bieber sold his entire catalog in 2023 for 200 million. Katy Perry sold her catalog for 225 million in 2023. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Ah, sweet. I got another Araxites task. Well, that's for next stream. I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Good luck
keep
on the
going
next
right now.
one.
Yeah, but thanks everyone who stopped by, in the chat there on YouTube. Thanks for all your chats. It was good talking to you, and I will see you next time.